Hey there, Parker Reed here, and welcome to PR Media, your home for everything movies and music through my eyes. And today I have a different sort of video for you. I don't know if you guys saw a few weeks ago on Facebook, there was this trend going around where you would post a photo saying you're going to name 20 musical artists and comment what their favorite song by that artist is. And I did that on my own Facebook page, and I got about 300 comments of people commenting back and forth about what their favorite songs are by those different artists. So I thought I'd make a video about it and give my opinion on those picks, and then everyone in the comment section will call me a music elitist. Let's do it. And to start things off, we started off with a heavy hitter. My favorite band, AC/DC, and my Facebook friend Jim said, "What's Next to the Moon?" That's off 1978's Power Age. And that's an interesting pick because I could name 4 or 5 songs off that album I like better, like Riff Raff or Sin City, Rock and Roll Damnation, Up to My Neck in You. All those I would like better, but interesting pick. Then of course we got the traditional ones, like Quentin said Shoot to Thrill, Highway to Hell, Back in Black, another Shoot to Thrill. And then Julia said You Shook Me All Night Long, Highway to Hell. Kennedy said N.A. How could you not have a favorite AC/DC song? That should be a crime against humanity. And then Cheyenne said You Shook Me All Night Long or Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, another traditional sort of pick. And then we have War Machine off of Black Ice. What is that pick? There has to be some sort of sentimental attachment to it because I don't think that's anyone's favorite song off of Black Ice, let alone their favorite AC/DC song just in general. And then we have N.A. Thunderstruck for the drinking game. Gage? No, just no. And then to end things off, we have The Jack, If You Want Blood, which I think is a really great track off of Highway to Hell. Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, anything off of Back in Black I could kind of see why people would like. And then the last one is Shot Down in Flames, which used to be my favorite AC/DC song, but nowadays I kind of identify more with Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be off of Let There Be Rock. I would say that's my favorite AC/DC song, but solid pick from Raymond, and that finishes off AC/DC. And then we have a drastic genre departure. Post Malone is one of my favorite modern artists, and to start things off, Jim's like N.A. I can understand Jim's a bit older, so he wouldn't really identify with Post Malone that much. Then we have Over Now, Rockstar, Candy Paint, /Circle, /Feeling Whitney, /Stay. Maddie, I don't think you got the point of this. You're supposed to pick one song, not 4. Then we have Circles, Take What You Want with Ozzy. Brooke said, I really enjoy that song too. His cover of Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. It's an interesting pick. Circles, White Iverson, Circles, Feeling Whitney. And that kind of ends off Post Malone. I understand all those different picks. My favorite song would probably be Rockstar. I know, cringe, that's what everyone would probably pick. But White Iverson is up there too. Overall, these are pretty cookie cutter Post Malone picks for the most part. No deep cuts, but he has such popular songs. Of course, people are going to pick the ones that they've heard the most. Next up, we have Guns N' Roses. I'm pretty sure this is going to be another classic example of all the biggest songs. But Jim comes out clutch to say Coma, which is off of Use Your Illusion 1. This is like a 10-minute song, and I really enjoy it too. So Jim, that's a great pick there. Then Dustin says Estranged. November Rain, Welcome to the Jungle, 1 in a Million, that might be controversial nowadays. My Michelle, Sweet Child of Mine, It's So Easy, Sweet Child of Mine, Paradise City, Welcome to the Jungle, Patience, Sweet Child of Mine, November Rain, Welcome to the Jungle, Mr. Brownstone, and Mr. Brownstone. Then Night Train, Civil War, Night Train, and You Could Be Mine. All these songs I could have anticipated people picking. And besides Coma, I can see why all these were being picked. But my favorite song is probably Night Train. I mean, I love that track off Appetite for Destruction. And with a band that only has about 4 or 5 records, there isn't a lot of songs to choose from. Not a lot of deep cuts, but I get why these were picked. A band that's on everybody's mind nowadays is the almighty Van Halen after Eddie Van Halen's passing. And some of these picks are going to surprise you. We have The Cradle Will Rock, which is off of Women and Children First. Panama, You Really Got Me. Panama, Ain't Talking About Love. Hot for Teacher. Panama, Right Now. Dreams, Mean Street, and Jump. And then Jump Again. I like the Mean Street pick by Raymond. Raymond's coming up with some clutch picks here. And it's hard for me to kind of categorize Van Halen as one band because I really think there's 2 distinct eras, being the David Lee Roth era and the Sammy Hagar era. And my favorite David Lee Roth era song is probably Unchained. And then the Sammy Hagar era, I would probably say Pound Cake. So these fit in the same vein, I would say. Not super surprising picks, but decent picks overall. Next up, we got Blink-182, another of my favorite modern bands. We have The Rock Show, and then Here's Your Letter, an interesting pick. Then we have What's My Age Again, All the Small Things, First Date, Adam's Song. and Kennedy picked Adam's song, and that is the first Blink-182 song I ever heard, actually. I heard it back in 8th grade in health class. The teacher was playing it on the projector during suicide awareness, that unit that we were going through, and that song is all about suicide, not wanting to be around, and I thought that was a good song to kind of portray that, so that always stuck with me. Then we have After Midnight, The Rock Show, or Stay Together for the Kids, What's My Age Again, I Miss You, Feeling This, Stay Together for the Kids, or Down, First Date, and then What's My Age Again as well. And of course, a lot of people's favorite songs with Blink-182 are going to come off of Enema of the State or Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. That was when they were the biggest. That was the most memorable era of the band, in my opinion. I'm surprised no one said Damn It. And my favorite song by them is probably Violence off their self-titled record. That album is my favorite in the Blink-182 discography. So, a little disappointed nobody went with that song, but I get it. Here's a quick one because not a lot of people commented on it. It was G-Eazy, my favorite rapper. I know, cringe. And then we have I Mean It, Downtown Love, I Mean It / Tumblr Girls, I Mean It Again, Hate the Way, I Mean It, and Too Loud. I'd pretty much say I Mean It is my favorite song by G-Eazy too. I can rap that entire song. Don't judge me. But I'm surprised not as many people commented on this as the Post Malone, but go figure. Next up is one I have some words about. That's Metallica. Man, my favorite Metallica song is by far Creeping Death off the Ride the Lightning. But we have Fuel, Fuel. But to start things off, we have Two Fuels. And I get it, it's a big radio song. A lot of people know it. Quentin, Enter Sandman. I'm tired of that song. I've heard it 700,000 fucking times. I don't get why people love that song so much. It's basic and it's kind of repetitive. It's dumbed down Metallica. Come on, man. Enter Sandman. You need to reevaluate your life choices on that one. Then Raymond. I don't know if Raymond actually likes these songs or if he's just picking the most obscure things from records and then saying they're a favorite song. Maybe he does have that taste. I don't know. But All Nightmare Long? What? That's not even the best song on that album. I don't get why he's doing that. Then we have My Memory Remains off of Reload. It's another solid 90s track. Then we have For Whom the Bell Tolls and Justice for All by Matt. That's a good pick. That's a sleeper pick right there. Alex said Ride the Lightning, Whiskey in the Jar, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Gage coming in clutch with Harvester of Sorrow. I think Injustice for All, if it didn't have those weird production choices, I think people would love a lot of those songs a lot more than they already do, besides one, of course. And then to end things off, we have For Whom the Bell Tolls and Fade to Black. Another two songs of Ride the Lightning that are huge. Of course, people would pick them. And overall, I was surprised with some of these picks. Some of them were just god-awful. Next up is a band that a lot of people are surprised I love so much, but it's the 1975, and they have a very varied discography, so I'm interested to see what people pick here. But to start things off, we have Sex, Heart Out, Robbers, and Love It If We Made It. All songs that are pretty big, no surprises there. Then we have The Sound, It's Not Living If It's Not With You, She Way Out, The Sound, Somebody Else, Somebody Else. Somebody Else is a very good song off of their second album, and I get why people pick it. It's very popular, was on the radio a lot. Understandable. It's a solid track off that record. And I think my favorite song by the 1975 is probably got to be Falling For You, with their song Woman being a close second. I think those 4 EPs they did before their first album came out is the strongest material the 1975 has ever done. It's experimental. It's much more electronic than the stuff they did as a full band on their other albums. And I think they're underrated. Check out those 4 EPs. I would definitely recommend it. Next up, we have the most boring of picks, and that's by Kings of Leon. I love Kings of Leon, but they're not very popular as far as the mainstream goes nowadays. Of course, people picked Waste a Moment, which is the biggest song off their last record. Then we have Sex on Fire, Sex on Fire, Sex on Fire, Sex on Fire, Use Somebody, and then we have Knocked Up by Molly. That's actually my favorite song by Kings of Leon off of their album Because of the Times. So I'm glad someone else likes that song. It's like 7 minutes long, so it might not be for everybody, but I think it's Kings of Leon at their strongest. Green Day is a band that a lot of people have some strong opinions about, and they've got another varied career, so let's see what people pick there. And to start off, we got some cookie cutter views. We got Longview, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, American Idiot, 21 Guns, and Longview. All huge songs off of huge albums. And we have Disappearing Boy. Raymond, where's your head at, man? I don't understand where you're coming from. I'm not judging you. I just want to understand. I seek information. I just want to know where your head's at. Send me a message or leave a comment on this. I want to know what your rationale is behind this. Then we have Jesus of Suburbia, Wake Me Up When September Ends, Basket Case, American Idiot, and Holiday. Huge songs. Then we have Holiday again, Too Much Too Soon, or Holiday. Engage, you don't like Green Day. Come on, man. Then Kevin, a huge Green Day fan and a good guy, went to his wedding and all that. But Castaway off of Warning? What is going on there? I listened to it back and I kind of get why you would enjoy it, but it's not the best song off that album. Just you must have some personal thing behind that song or something. Send me a message or leave a comment. I want to know why you like Castaway so much. Next up, it's another modern artist. It's Lewis Capaldi, and he's got a few big songs, so that's probably what's going to appear on this too. We've got Someone You Loved, Headspace, Before You Go, Someone You Loved, Bruises and Hold Me While You Wait. Molly again, I think we connect musically because Hold Me While You Wait is my favorite Lewis Capaldi song. Of course, most people are going to pick Someone You Loved or Before You Go. Those are his two biggest songs. No surprises there. The dude only has one album, so there aren't many songs to pick from. Next up, we have one that breaks my heart a little bit. One of my favorite artists that's come out the last couple years is a guy named Dean Lewis. His biggest song was Be Alright. That was on the radio constantly for like the past year. And only 5 people commented on this, and no one said Be Alright. What? Elizabeth said Waves, which is a great song. Molly said Half a Man, which is a great song. Matt said Used to Love. And then Raymond and Gage are like, I have no idea who that is. Come on, guys. We gotta get out of our headspace here. Dean Lewis is great. Look him up. His album is great. Check it out. My favorite song by him is probably Adore. This dude needs more attention. Next up is a guy in the country sphere that I only got into recently when his new album Starting Over came up, and I gave it a 10 out of 10, which is the first time I've ever given an album that rating. And some choices that people picked from his discography were surprising. We got Tennessee Whiskey or Parachute, that song with Justin Bieber. Great way to do your research. Tennessee Whiskey and Starting Over. Julia, I like that Starting Over pick. Then we have Tennessee Whiskey, Either Way, and Tennessee Whiskey again. I was in a country band for about 6 months last year called the Brady Luke Band, and we played the song Tennessee Whiskey. It always got people slow dancing on the floor, so I get why people love that song. It's his biggest song. My favorite song by Chris is probably Maggie's song about his dog who passed away off his latest album Starting Over, but he is one of the best voices in all of country music, so good on people for actually knowing who he is. Next artist I have up is one of the best in all of heavy metal. It's Iron Maiden. They also have a very long discography with a bunch of different material, so I'm interested to see what people pick. And we have Rothschild, Invaders, Jennifer coming in clutch with that pick. Run to the Hills, Wasted Years, The Trooper, Hallowed Be Thy Name, Run to the Hills, Wasted Years, The Trooper, Number the Beast. These colors don't run. Matt, you've got some interesting picks too. I enjoy it. My favorite Iron Maiden song is probably Hallowed Be Thy Name, or no wait. Aces High off of Power Slave. I think that's my favorite track. I'm glad a lot of people commented on this because it's not just a bunch of old people, it's actually a lot of younger people that I know, so I'm glad Iron Maiden's sticking around. It's no mystery that one of my favorite modern bands is Alter Bridge, and some people actually had some good picks. Jimmy said Cry the Killies, Quentin said Wouldn't You Rather, Talon said Blackbird, which I think is going to be a lot of people's pick. Then Raymond said a bunch of songs, dude, follow the rules. And then we have Hannah said Watch Over You, Ed said Metalingus, Casey said Broken Wings. I agree with you, Casey, there. That is my favorite Alter Bridge song as well. Kennedy said Blackbird, Alex said Addicted to Pain, Gage said Slip to the Void, and Kevin said Into the Deep. Kevin, I know you've really only listened to the latest Alter Bridge album, but I question that pick a lot. Next up is a band that hasn't been relevant in like 5 years. It's The Neighborhood. And everyone knows the song Sweater Weather, so let's see how many people that commented pick Sweater Weather. And to start things off, Quentin said Sweater Weather, Talon said Sweater Weather, Raymond said Sweater Weather, and then Kennedy said Flawless or Wires. That's an interesting pick. Alex said Daddy Issues, which is their second most popular song. And then we have The Beach or Female Robbery, R.I.P. to My Youth, and Sweater Weather, I guess. Well, that was kind of a backhanded pick by Gage. Sweater Weather had 5 of the, 8 picks, so I get it. I understand, but they're deeper than that. My favorite song by them is probably Lost in Translation. One of the most popular artists that I posted that people commented on was Taylor Swift, who has a very, very discography as well. She's been everything from country to pseudo hip-hop to now super pop and now folk. She's all over the sphere. So picks we got Delicate, The Story of Us, Our Song, Back to December, and Dear John. These people obviously prefer her country stuff. Then we have All Too Well, Sparks Fly, Fearless, The Best Day, Cardigan, Dear John. Then we have Speak Now, Peace, Out of the Woods, Afterglow, Love Story, Style, and then we have The One, and then Trouble. It's interesting there because a lot of these people did not pick like the big songs like Blank Space or Never Ever Getting Back Together or I Knew You Were Trouble or Exile, the new song of Folklore. So kudos to people for having some range with Taylor Swift. I wouldn't have predicted that. And on the other side of the musical sphere from Taylor Swift, we have Slipknot. And Jim starts off by saying Duality. Quentin said Unsainted. And then Psychosocial, Wait and Bleed, Pulse of the Maggots. Kennedy's got some clutch picks here. Then People Equal Shit. That's a kick-ass song. Snuff, Left Behind, and Wait and Bleed. All good picks. My favorite song with them, I don't even know. Probably People Equal Shit, just because of how heavy it is. Next up we have my second favorite band, that being Avenged Sevenfold. People had some interesting picks here too. Quentin said The Stage, Raymond said Hail the King, Casey said A Little Piece of Heaven, and then Kendra said A Little Piece of Heaven. That seems to be a popular pick. Then Alex said Scream, Mr. Zhang said A Little Piece of Heaven, Chris said I Won't See You Tonight, and both parts of that song, those being off Awaken the Fallen, and I think that's my favorite song as well. So Chris, Musical Bros. Hail the King, Gage said Save Me, and then Kevin said Nightmare. And to end things off, we have A Little Piece of Heaven, and then Richard, a drummer who played with me a bunch of times in different projects, said This Means War. What is that pick, Richard? Yeah, that's basically Sad But True by Metallica, and that's not a fantastic Metallica song. This Means War, come on, man, you can do better. And last but not least, we've got Shinedown, one of the best modern rock bands around. And Jim said Save Me, Jennifer said If You Only Knew, CJ said Call Me, Quentin said Unity, then Ashley said Second Chance, Call Me If You Only Knew, The Crow and the Butterfly, and Get Up, which reminds her of her brother who passed away. So thank you for sharing that. I like these picks. Quentin with Unity, I would say that's a great song for Amaryllis. If You Only Knew, that was a great song for The Sound of Madness. And then Raymond said You Don't Get Me High Anymore. Dude, first off, that's a cover, and second off, that's a 3 Days Grace cover. Shinedown never sang that song. Come on, man. Or Amaryllis. That's an okay pick. Then we have Diamond Eyes. This one's tough. Casey said, but Fly From the Inside. Cool pick. Julia said Attention, Attention. Kennedy said Save Me. Alex said The Crow and the Butterfly. Rand said Simple Man. Mandy said Second Chance. Gage said Diamond Eyes. Kevin said Diamond Eyes. And Jordan said Second Chance. All really good songs. I would have wanted a little bit more off of The Sound of Madness because I think that's easily their best record. But my favorite Shinedown song is probably Devour off The Sound of Madness. It's hard for me to pick. They have so many great songs. But that is it for this video. Thank you so much to everybody who commented on this and was a part of it. I really appreciate all of your comments and seeing what you picked. And if I roasted you a little bit, I'm sorry, but it's all for the love of the game. All these songs are really good. All these artists are really good, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't have been on my list. But thank you so much for commenting. If you really like this, leave me a comment below. Maybe we'll do a part 2. Maybe people would be into that. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw here, you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram and like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. My name is Parker Reed. You've been watching PR Media. Keep supporting physical media, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.